What's up everyone? How's it going? Welcome to a new video. So, if you're anything like me, for the past few weeks you've been mesmerized by this amazing game that came out. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is truly something unique. From gameplay to visual storytelling, to music, scenery, everything. It just comes together in this like awesome package. It's emotional. It hits you like in the right spot. It's truly something. I cried my eyes out as I was playing this game, and immediately when I finished it, I thought I need to know more. I need to know how this awesome game came to be. So when you look up Sandfall Interactive, the company that developed this game, it's actually quite a small team, and it's really awesome to see like a small team developing such an awesome game. And as I figured out, Houdini was actually used quite extensively in this game, which is awesome. Yay for us, Houdini artists. So today's guest is Alexandre Breton, a technical artist who works at Sandfall Interactive and who worked on this game. He has first-hand knowledge about how this game came to be. He worked on several assets, and for the next hour, hour and a half, we will be geeking out about this awesome game. He will share a lot of the stuff from behind the scenes. He would talk about the techniques that he used, all the awesome cool stuff that we may not even notice at first. He talks about the workflow, he talks about the development. I had a lot of fun. And as you can see in the video, I geek out quite a lot because, again, I'm a big fan of this game. So, yeah, without further ado, please join me, and we will be talking about Expedition 33. See you in a minute. So, Alexandre, hi. Welcome to the
Hi,
channel.
thank you.
It's awesome to have
Um,
you here.
Thank you. So I present myself.
Hmm. Uh, that's the plan, but we're gonna start a bit smaller because I think everyone is just curious. I mean, the game just came out 3 weeks ago, I think, and it's been amazing. So yeah, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you. So I'm Alexandre Breton. I'm a technical artist at Sandfall Interactive, and yeah, it's been like now 4 years that I'm in the video game industry. Before I did like a video game school in the north of France, where I come from. And yeah, 4 years ago, I received like a message on our station from Guillaume Broche, which is the creative director of the project. And he was like offering to come to the south of France with the sun and with a wonderful project. And yeah, I just said yes and joined the company 4 years ago.
Awesome, amazing. And so, can you tell us a little bit about your background when it comes to 3D? How did you start? And also gaming, because I think you have to kind of learn both sides at the same time.
Um, okay, in terms of gaming, I think one of my first memory of gaming is I was playing Harry Potter 2 on Game Boy Color.
I know that
It
game.
was
Yeah.
a turn-based RPG, so that's how I start my video game career and with turn-based, and that's how I started to play video game also. So yeah, it was like I don't know, it was something incredible for me. I don't know. I don't know how many hours I spent on this game. I was playing and playing, and like even my I don't know. I was like staying late all night. I was like playing this game, and I think it developed a passion, developed smallly, small, and I kind of developed this passion with this video game. And I think after I starting from here, I always played video game, and I switched a bit during my uh, teenager period, I switched for games like Red Dead
Mm-hmm.
Redemption, and I was like, I think it's when I played Red Dead Redemption that I started to think about going ever into the 3D animation, ever into video game, and yeah, it's developed also something. I guess the universe, the ambience, like the
Mm-hmm.
mood in the game, touched me a lot, and I don't know. I was like, you are a teenager, you have all these emotions, and like I was playing this game, and I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah. It's awesome.
and and yeah, back in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was So I was kind of losing interest a bit. I don't know if I should tell this, but I was losing interest in all the, like, just the stuff that I was learning back then, and so I was paying a bit less attention. But in my brain, it was always there. Like the art and creation was always there, and so I was like, because I was like in high school, I was like studying like scientific stuff,
Hmm.
and so like in a piece of my mind, like in a piece of my brain, there was like always this thought about video games and animation. I was looking a lot of also animated movie. I grew up with the Toy Story
Hmm.
movies and stuff like this, and yeah, as I told you, video game too. And I applied for a school in the north of France in my hometown, and so I failed this year. I failed after high school. I succeeded like tests to enter over schools, but I was really into this one. And
Hmm.
so what I did is I did like a year of more general arts, and after this year, I was feeling prepared, and then I did again the test to enter the school, and I was taken. And yeah, after I just like enjoyed my life there. I discovered uh, I discovered so many things in the school. At first, I was like, I didn't know at all about 3D before entering the school. I was like interested in, but I didn't know at all how it worked. And so during the first years, we did like small introductions to how it will work and all. And I will say that during the second year and third year, it started to develop. And I learned about first 3D in general.
Hmm.
And after I learned about like other software, that I think my introduction to this kind of workflow that also introduced me to take art was Substance Designer.
Ah.
Um, and so yeah, I went from Substance Designer where like it was, I don't know, I just loved the workflow of Substance Designer,
Hmm.
like creating this textures based on nodes.
Hmm.
It was so cool for me. So like I kept a bit with it. And in fourth year, I heard also about Houdini,
Hmm.
and the transition, the transition made like, I don't know, like easily. It was like very flawless, I
Hmm.
can say, yeah. And so I went from Substance Designer to Houdini, and then I just like, I don't know, it was like just passion. I just spent like nights and nights discovering the software, and it was so cool to me that it was not anymore studies. It was just like love what you're doing,
Hmm.
and like you do it all night, and that's also cool.
Awesome. So, question for you. So, you went directly from Substance Designer to Houdini. You didn't do any other 3D programs? Like there was nothing in between?
Yes, I did over 3D programs, but
Mm.
I kind of don't use them at all anymore. It's I started learning 3D with 3ds Max.
Ah, yeah.
That was the software we used to learn back then in
Hmm.
my school, which is now replaced by Blender, which
Yeah,
makes
of
sense,
course.
I think.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Um, and so yeah, I'm not using anymore 3ds Max, and now I'm like fully on Substance Designer, Houdini, and Unreal Engine.
Hmm. Hmm. That makes sense. It's so funny because I compare it to my own like career and my own path, and I come from like non 3D background. Like I studied architecture, so it was just an entirely different world. And I mean, 3ds Max is quite a big deal in architecture as well because you use it for ArcViz. But I actually never learned it. It seemed too difficult for me. But somehow I also jumped to Houdini at some point and it just changed. So it's really funny for me to see that people like in this industry coming from like all sections, all sides, very different paths, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So, obviously we talked about the software that you use, your path to getting here. How did you end up at Sandfall?
So I ended up at Sandfall with so I was in I was still in school back then. I was in my fifth year, so we had a project. So it's like a group project, and during this fifth year, I received a message on ArtStation
Hmm.
from Guillaume Broche, the CEO and creative director of Sandfall Interactive. And Guillaume was telling me about how he wanted to create this game, and like told me a bit more about the game. And he was like, yeah, I want to create this game with 15 people, and we'll do it in 3 years. And like when he said like, I want to create this game with 15 people, I don't know, it speaks to me because like I was in this group in fifth year. We were like 10ish, and it's I was like, yeah, it would just be the same as I'm doing right now with like I don't know, like great people. It's like good to be in a small team, because you know everyone and you have jokes with them and all. And so I was like, yeah, it will be the same, but I will just be paid to do it.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I just said yes, and I joined Guillaume in the south of France, in this city which is not that small. It's Montpellier, so I don't know if people know about, but yeah, it's in Montpellier in the south of France, and the weather was like totally different from the north of France, and just like my life went from like I don't know, like doing the studies in the north of France to like do the same thing and like still enjoy to the south, and it was perfect for me. It was the dream.
Awesome. Awesome. And was it the same actually compared to what you were doing before?
Uh, I think, I think at first, it takes a bit of time for people to know you, but I think now it
Mm.
is the same. I think now it is the same. Like it's really nice to work with all those people. It's really really great.
Awesome. Awesome. So, you said that, sorry, I just got a message that the meeting will finish in 10 minutes, so I will be creating a new
Okay.
new session and sending it to you. But I'll just send it over on LinkedIn whenever this one ends. Uh, Okay, let's continue. So, you said that you kind of started with Substance Designer when it came to proceduralism. You continued with Houdini. How do you actually use Houdini in your own workflows right now? Mostly like personal stuff. How do you personally use it?
On like you mean like side projects?
I mean, a general overview. of how you like to approach it? Which aspects of Houdini do you like the most? Because, for example, for me personally, there are parts of Houdini that I have not touched, like crowd
Yeah.
work. I've never done it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, the part that I'm using are like the simulation stuff.
Hmm.
I'm using simulation to create a fantasy effect that I will talk about later.
Hmm.
I'm also using the modeling part, procedural modeling mostly, and scattering stuff also.
Hmm.
And yeah, I will say that those are the three main parts for me in Houdini.
Yeah, it's actually kind of similar to the aspects that I like to use. Because
Okay.
simulations, I mean, of course, are super interesting to do. Modeling is like the base of Houdini. There are certain aspects of Houdini that I personally haven't really gotten into. I don't know. Do you use, for example, Solaris in your workflow or the new USD
Not at
stuff?
all.
Hmm.
No, 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 not at all.
Yeah. Same with me. I think it's kind of aimed at big companies and big productions. Maybe if it becomes a little bit like easier to more user friendly, maybe is the better word.
Yeah, yeah, I tried it, but yeah, I think needs it needs like it's less flexible. I would say.
Mhm.
I would say that it's less flexible. So it did not like I. That's what I like in Houdini. It's the fact that you can like you touch something and instantly you see the result like on error on the final result, and
Mhm.
it was a bit less flexible for me. I would say.
Yeah, it's funny to me that there are also like artists out there, independent artists that have fully transitioned to using Solaris now, which is, I mean, it's
Okay.
awesome. Uh, I just personally haven't really gotten into it yet, but who knows? Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the second part.
Thank you.
Let's get technical. So, tell us, what do you do exactly at Sandfall?
So at Sandfall. I'm doing like so. I would say depend of the periods. When I arrived at Sandfall, I was doing one of my goal was to do scattering tool to be able to like populate the world like very easily and being like we were like very small team back then. We were like 10-ish, and so I was trying to create like a massive tool to be able to populate the world, and then I switched to like procedural modeling. I switched to simulation, to also just scattering in general, but like with other subject than the one that I will cover. And in the end, like now, like those last month slash year, I was working a lot on optimization. So like
Hmm. Hmm.
mainly in the engine, and I miss Houdini right now. I
Hmm.
want to get back to it.
No, I know the feeling. I mean, I don't use Unreal Engine that much, but I use Cinema 4D in my workflow quite a
Okay.
lot, and I miss Houdini because I'm like, why do I have to move things by hand? Why do I have to? Why can't I just make it go on its own? It's it's a struggle.
I agree. I can only agree.
So, you mentioned the scattering tool, but in
Yeah.
general, how was Houdini used in Expedition 33? How did you implement it?
So when I arrived, I so we were using we always used the Houdini engine.
Mhm.
So when I arrived, as I said, one of my goal was to create like this big scattering tool, and so I started it, and I can screen share right now and show some like very old stuff.
Would be quite nice to see. Yeah.
I hope it will be interesting, but yeah. So
I'm sure it is.
this was like directly in the engine, and using the Houdini engine. The thing that you can see here, all the colors, are landscape layers. Those landscape layers, it's like painted, and the goal with this was to be able to say, oh, okay, this I want my main path here. I want some like mid vegetation, and I want like trees on the far, and like to be able to have like the world structured like this. And so I can show you. So I will accelerate a bit because it was quite a bit long. But yeah,
I
here's the
see. I
result.
see.
Here's the result. So here you have like the rocks for the floor. You have the small vegetation here, and the trees that are popping on the sides, far sides.
Yeah. So essentially, what basically is happening, you're creating several masks, and then you're essentially designating those areas for certain objects to appear on, right?
Exactly. And so this layer that we were painting on the landscape is just like it's basic layers that you can paint on landscapes in Unreal. And I was grabbing this information in Houdini to be able to say, okay, now this will be the main path, this will be that. And so we thought about doing this for a while. Then we used this to raise some money and to be able to continue the game. Because it was also one of the selling point of the company. It was like, yeah, we don't need to be a big team to do this kind of thing. And so yeah, I worked on this, but in the end we found that it was not very practical to move stuff. And also one of the main thing is that like all the levels are different in the game. And as you have all these unique levels, with each level being like its very own way of be addressed level art, it will have been like complex. It could have been possible, but will have been complex to do this kind of tool for to respond to all the different types of level art and like set dressing that you want to do. But the thing is also like if you do this, it's also a bit less flexible. And so in the end we decided not to go for this, but to go for like smaller version of this of scattering tools. So like we don't have in the game right now, we don't have anymore the like this painting tool style. So we are not using this anymore, but we have like over things that I can show you, which will be more like the tools, for example. So we have like a giant tower like this. And this giant tower, it's like only like scaffoldings that compose it. And so here the scattering parts are just like very specific, very level specific scattered to like I created like per level different tools that was useful, but like there's no like one big tool that respond to everything. It was like one of the things that we worked on, and we thought that it will not respond to our intentions in the future. So we worked on, we raised a bit of money to be able to reassure the investors and all. And we switched for more like specific level tools like this one. I can like show a video directly in the engine. So For example, here, like you can just like move a spline directly in the engine, and your scaffolding is creating.
Yeah.
And
did you set this up also in Houdini, the tool that does this?
yeah, it's like it's a fully Houdini tool that works with Houdini engine.
Yeah.
You can see on the right here with the
Oh yeah.
Houdini logo.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there was like a lot of options to remove like some parts to make it higher or lower, and yeah, we thought that it was a lot more interesting to have like this kind of level specific tool
Yeah.
for our game. We have like kind of the same for a novel, which is the Gestro Village.
Yeah.
And so here in the Gestro Village, all the houses are generated like here it's more procedural modeling. But on top of the procedural modeling, there's also like procedural placement. And so everything. So we wanted like if you play the game, it's like a toy village. Basically,
Yeah.
it's a toy village. I will not say any more about it, but
I
yeah,
think we can
you're
just give the viewers a little bit of a spoiler warning. If you
yeah.
don't want to get spoiled, maybe go play the game first. But yeah, you feel free to say whatever
Oh yeah.
because it's
Okay.
interesting. Yeah.
And so yeah, like those toys are they are very like funny and like human made, like child made toys. And so we wanted like houses that will be like the as their image, like like that represent them. And so with those houses, the goal was to have like a kind of a clay, like child clay, like houses prototypes,
Yeah.
and put on top like those wooden masks that are like the signature of the gestrals. And
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 so quite a lot of the modeling was done in Houdini. That's awesome to hear. I think it's really cool.
It depends it depends a lot of the levels. So there's like I work with a very talented team, and like there are some levels I maybe there's like nothing on like Houdini, but it was one of the cool thing during this production was that like we were all able to say, okay, I want to work on this because like I have an idea and I know that I can do something interesting for it. And like when we talked about the Gestro Village, it's one of the things like I don't remember if it's me or if it's someone who told me, oh, you should work on the Gestro Village. But yeah, it was like so some like places are like more procedural, and after like you have like a level art pass on top of the procedural stuff. And for some it's like mainly like modeling, like human made modeling, so yeah, it depends a lot. And yeah, can say that the MGRN team is really great, and I had a chance to work with them. It's also cool.
Awesome. For me personally, my favorite thing about the Gestro Village was that meme that you had in there with the guy that's sitting in the house that's on fire. And
Yeah.
when you talk to him, it's like
Yeah.
everything is fine. I loved it. When I was playing it, it was like midnight. I was tired. I had been like hanging around this like village for like an hour, I think, and then I found this and I was just like laughing out loud. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's Victor, our quest designer, who did this, and he did like a really great job. It's so cool. All the people that like go in the Jetfall village and all the interactions, they love it, and so it's so cool. Love it.
Awesome. So maybe we get back to the scattering tool
Yep.
for one more look. I
So
do
the
have
old one.
Yeah, the old one, because I do have
Okay.
a few questions about how you approach the tool. So, um,
I'm a bit lost in my. Oh, it's here.
yeah. So you talked about having this like global tool, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
idea of a global tool is very appealing to me as well. At some point, I was setting up like a bunch of instancing tools and stuff like that, which was really
Yeah.
interesting. But at the same time, it kind of gets you a little bit limited. Like you said, since there are different levels, you kind of face some challenges. Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges that you had when you were setting it up?
So there was a. So about this tool, yeah, there was a challenges in the fact that this like a yellow. So this was like a level for the vertical slice.
Hmm.
This tool was made for the vertical slice, and we knew that even during the vertical slice, it was already complicated to populate everything with it, because there was already challenges in just one level, because like sometimes we were not working with landscapes. So like if I have a tool based on landscapes and there is no landscape,
Hmm.
then it's a
Hmm.
useless tool. So it was like already like a struggle to work with this. So tried also another approach with just a spline,
Hmm.
like kind of the same spline that you saw in the scaffolding tool.
Hmm.
And so like just pull the points, and you created your spline, and then you choose the distance that you want between like the main road where the player will walk, and like the walls and all. So
Hmm.
it was another option that we explored, but it was like causing also issues because I was the only one to be able to work with it, because it was with Houdini engine,
Hmm.
and we had only one license back then. And so all this was like challenging, because like there was also like the environment team that like should be able to work on the environment,
Hmm.
and it was not flexible enough for us to continue with this scattering tool.
No, no, makes sense. Makes sense. And when it came to the tool itself, how did you build it? What were like the different approaches that you had? Did you go, for example, with using, I don't know, up vectors and normal vectors to set it up? Did you go with like matrices? How did you approach it?
I think I used so I was using like the normals of the landscape,
Hmm.
and then from this I was building matrices,
Hmm.
and yeah, that was the main thing. I was just like using the slope of the landscape
Hmm.
and the information, like the colors that I told you about,
Yeah.
and yeah, after it was just like classic like matrices building in Vex,
Hmm.
all this in Vex, and yeah, nothing too complicated. It's like I was just looking for the formulas that I was needing. I'm trying, when I'm like creating Houdini tools, I'm trying not to go like too deep into Vex stuff, because I always want to keep this flexibility that I told you about,
Hmm.
like be able to just like remove one node and move it somewhere else
Yeah.
in like 2 seconds, and like which with someone who is like very familiar with coding, like someone that's like a very strong knowledges will be possible. But for me, as I come from like a more north side, it was like a lot easier for me to like keep with those like basics like Vex, like formulas that I was like finding on forums or on documentation,
Hmm.
and then go from this and using just the nodes already available in
Hmm.
the engine.
Yeah, yeah. That's honestly my approach as well. I mean, my entire channel is called Simple and Procedural, so I like to make sure
Yeah,
it's the simplest way that I can do it, and then just start expanding on it. It's always, in my opinion, the best way to go. So,
totally agree.
we see, yeah, we see the scattering tool being used for scattering in this case foliage. We have trees, we have plants on the ground. But what I do wonder, and I would like to also know a little bit about when it comes to the cities, and city in this case Lumiere, could you share anything to us about that?
I can totally share. So for the city, I developed a tool. So I was like, when I entered the company, it was also one of the thing I was like hired for. Like they told me like, oh yeah, we will have a city, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I like always wanted to develop a city tool,
Mhm.
and so I started. So at first, I started with like an intern that is called Mathieu, and that like it was creating the modules for me. And so like what I was doing is I was like we were both like looking at like Haussmannian buildings in Paris,
Mhm.
and we were like looking like everything, like all the building is like composed like a lot of reference. Like we were looking at like if you cut like a building in like and you look at the inside how it's made, and like the different levels, and we found a lot of documentation, and based on this we were like, okay, now you will have to like send me modules that will be like this size, this size, this size, and I will scatter all this to have like the first floor, and then like you have like the another floor which is like very small, and then you have like the uh, like kind of a balcony, but it's like in French it's called a balcon filant, so it will be like a balcony that is like very long, and that is
Mhm.
going through the wall level, the not the wall level, the wall floor of the building. And so based on this, yeah, I imagined this tool, and I will go more into details, in details, looking at the this. So uh, this is so to be able to do this tool, just how can I say this? We had like few approaches, like as the tool like was needing to respond to different stuff. I had like few approaches, and they changed during the process of the war game. So at the beginning we had this idea of having a city where you can walk on the roof,
Mhm.
and so I was walking like on the building, and I was like preparing a tool with a just like a single building that will be like that will have like a flat roof you can walk on. And so I like came up with this, but at some point like we were like, okay, we also want to be able to have like different levels in the same building. So I came up with like a different approach in the tool, and like totally rewrite a part, and like added some switches everywhere to be able to have this over part of the tool.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, what can I say? I can say that the we also had like a approach to generate the wall city.
Mhm.
So this comes from like an Illustrator plan. Like in Illustrator, it just like created like the what will be the layout of the city from the top. And based on this, I just grabbed the informations of like the shape of the building, and I'm like generating like a random number of levels of floors buildings, and random dirtiness, random like everything you can randomize, like the destroyed balconies and stuff like this. I don't know if I was very clear during those
No,
explanations.
it was very clear.
Okay.
It's quite interesting to see. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet because, as I told you before we started, I studied architecture, so this part is like really interesting to me. Just getting to see how you approached designing the architecture, and based on how you're describing it, it's actually quite accurate. Like it's physically accurate to what those buildings would be like.
Thank
It's
you.
really, really interesting.
We did some research, and obviously we modified some parts.
Hmm.
Like it's not like exactly Haussmannian buildings,
Hmm.
but we kept the parts that was like that we thought would create like this sense of Paris, like you
Hmm.
just that you are walking in Paris.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, so this feeling was very important, and so we were free to like change some stuff. Obviously there's no like flying bots on Lumiere, and
Hmm.
there's not this paint and all, but on the buildings we choose like to keep some parts that will be what represent
Hmm.
Paris. Like like for example, the small floor that I was talking about here, it's like a smallest floor than like the ground one, and after you have like those balcon filants here, and you have like on top. I will show you a more interesting picture here. You have like over balconies. Obviously, they are closed. Like when you are living on it, here no one is living, so we let them like this. But
Hmm.
you have like an over like a kind of balcony terrace that is on top, um, and we tried to have like those roof. So in French it's a zinc. I don't know if it's the same in English or not. Like the
I'm not
material.
sure actually.
So yeah, the metal plates roof.
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, we did a lot of research, and we added. So for example, those bow windows here, it's something that we added.
Mhm.
It's not very common in Paris. We found some Haussmannian buildings, some like very refined Haussmannian buildings, but it's like not common at all to have bow windows on this kind of building. But we thought that it could be interesting to help to have different buildings and guide the player. Finally, we in the end we did. I don't think we needed them to guide the player, but I think it's also part of the universe to have like some like small things now that differ a bit from Paris.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, we just thought that it will look cool too. So
Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. I do have a question for you because I mean, this is obviously gonna run in Unreal, so and the
yeah,
CD could get quite heavy quite fast. So
yeah.
how did you optimize it? Like, I'm assuming that that portion would also be done in Houdini, right?
Yeah, so the thing is that all the like majority of the thing that you can see here are instances.
Hmm.
So it's like, for example, here with my mouse, I will like if I like showing this, it's like just one module. It's
Hmm.
basically one module here, and so everything is instantiate. That was the basic thing for us. It's like we were needing to instantiate a lot because like also like the city the building had not to be expensive at all because we
Hmm.
also have like a huge crowd
Yeah.
the start of the game, and the huge crowd will take for sure a lot of performances.
Hmm.
So we had this, but like just instances was not enough. We were also needing to be able to have like a variation on like the front of the building, like the just the way the buildings looks, but without creating like different material instances for every building. So what we did here was just like using custom datas. Custom datas are like it's a way to send informations, to have like specific informations into instances in Unreal Engine, and Houdini is a way to like is a way to I can use Houdini to set those custom datas.
So if I understand it correctly, like you've set it up, but in a way you're using these data to override certain things that you would set initially. So you can create some variation, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for example, here you can see like that there's like this kind of like dirt, like dirt painty effect on the walls. And this can be totally removed to have something clean using the custom data. And like what is here, the like a bar or a boulangerie here can be like also totally changed. So the color of the front door can be changed via the custom data. So for example, here it's like you can just set the color to blue to have a blue boulangerie, and here you have a green boulangerie, and it's the same material instance. It's the same shader, just using custom data to be able to not have like a ton of different material instance that will like be a problem for the performances.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And so, I mean, looking at it, obviously we're looking, again, spoiler warnings, but we're looking at Lumiere in the beginning of the game, right? So let's jump a bit forward. Lots of crying, at least on my end, but we get to the end and we have a totally different Lumiere, right? So how do they compare?
So the totally different Lumiere, it's in the same level. It's like all in the engine, everything is in the same level. So what we did there was like removing some buildings and like adding overs. And like those other buildings that are added, it's like I had to develop a new part of the tool, which was like the Houdini tool, because as you like as I told you here, it's like only instances. But so if we switch to Act 3, there's like destroyed buildings and like bent buildings, and all this in order to have all this, we were needing to have like a Houdini version of the building. So that was not a huge challenge, because like the base was here, but like just needed to like adapt small things, and with like a switch I can like have a version in Houdini and like bend the building directly in Houdini, but with different modules that like Mathieu Costa, so the environment artist that worked with me, prepared, because like the modules were like lighter in terms of polygons, and for the bent buildings and the destroyed buildings, in order, because like those modules here that are instantiate, we wanted like something very, very detailed. And so we were like very like it was very, very high poly. Without the instance like technology, it would have been complicated to have the first part of the game running. And so
the
like
first part was actually heavier than the ending. Is that what you're saying?
the first part is no, it's not really heavier. The first part is heavier due to the crowd, but the buildings are not heavier. The buildings are less heavier.
Okay.
I will just take a sip of water because I
Mhm.
feel that my throat is about to
Oh,
let
of course.
me.
I'm gonna do the same.
So yeah, one of the the thing is that it's heavier in terms of polygons, but
Mhm.
it's like lot lighter in term of performances. Like
Mhm.
the cost of those buildings are it's a lot less than the other one, even if we optimized the other one. So like now they're good to go. You can like place a lot and it will be fine because the modules are not the same. So we had like to reduce all the details on the balconies, and like here you have it's a shame I did not take like a close shots, but you have like an insane amount of details on those modules.
Oh,
That
I remember from
works,
the game
but yeah.
itself, yeah.
So yeah, everything works with instances, but if you start to bend buildings, you cannot instantiate anymore because like
Mhm.
the modules are like not anymore the same. And if you destroy buildings, same. If you want to be able to destroy some parts, like you can prepare some like modules that will be specific, but it was like a lot easier for us to just bake everything in a
Yeah.
lighter building and like destroy some parts.
Yeah, makes sense. I think down below you may have some samples of the the end game Lumiere,
Yeah,
maybe if we just take a look. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Uh,
the destructions, you also did them in Houdini for when it came to bending, or like just the RBD stuff.
no, only the bending. Here, we just I just booleaned some things.
Hmm.
But after it was all Matthew who did like all the details and all.
Hmm.
It was like I think I was still working on. I was working on other parts of Lumiere,
Hmm.
and so he did this while I was like working on maybe like over to maybe the crowd or something like this for Lumiere.
Hmm. Hmm. No, I see. It is quite fascinating. I mean, the buildings, obviously, the vibe of Lumiere is just something super unique. As I was playing, both the beginning and the ending, it's the same city, but it totally feels different. And you have like in the beginning, it gets like super emotional, of course, and in the end, it kind of captures the same emotion, but there's also like a lot going on. So, yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anything else regarding Lumiere to discuss, you think?
Don't know. I can just show that. Yeah, just for fun,
Hmm.
I destroyed a building.
Oh yeah, this
In
this fight,
Yeah.
man. Th
So
this
this
one
is.
was such a pain in the ass. I died so many times. It was awesome.
Nice. I'm still not there. I'm still. I'm like. So I obviously know what's going on. Like everyone in the game, but I'm still
Mhm.
not there. I'm doing it I'm doing the whole game right now, full playthrough, but
Mm,
I'm still
you're
not there.
going
So I
slow.
yeah.
I finished it in 3 days.
In
It
three
was,
days.
yeah, the game came out. I finished it 3 days after it had come out. It was very intense. I think I didn't sleep. It was crazy.
Whoa. Nice. I will say this to the team and they will be so happy.
Awesome.
We will. And yeah, that I think that's it. Yeah, just here, it was fun to destroy a building at some point.
Oh yeah.
So this was like fully Houdini simulated. So
Mm.
I prepared some modules. I think it was before the Lumiere tool. So I prepared modules by myself to have the huge stones that represent the Osmanian buildings, and I just used this to be able to have this like big stone destroying effect here.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I think that's it
Cool.
for the Lumiere tool.
So maybe we can talk a little bit about the other use cases. For example, you mentioned this paint effect and the 3D paint stuff. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, so one of the thing in the game that we wanted to have, like, since the beginning of the game, it's like Nicolas Maxence Francombe, the art director, was always like putting like some flying stuff in the game, and so it's something like from the very first moment I started to work on the project that like it was already there, and so we were needing something to be able to integrate them more into the world, because like, you know, if you have just a flying thing but like nothing that like shows that it's on purpose, it can be a bit weird to have this. So like to be able to create this effect, I worked on two things. So there's like something that is like only in Unreal Engine, and I can like show you very quickly. It will be this. It's a scattering tool only in Unreal Engine based on the spline, and so I can just like move the handle of the thing, and after it will just like when you play it rotates, and you have like the thing. If you know, if it's just like rotating a bit, it's fine. It's integrated in the world. The players know that it's on purpose. And it's like part of the universe. It makes it like cooler to have just like something like not moving. And the other thing I worked on was done using Houdini, and it's like those paint strings that you can see here. And so those paint strings, like, they are used a bit everywhere in the game, and yeah, it's something that I've created using Houdini. I was like trying to have something like very viscous, like kind of the like the paint in like reality, but like even a bit more to make it like a bit weird, and that can attach to different stuff in the game. And so we have like this effect a bit everywhere, like as like, yeah, you're like walking through the first part to the literally the end of the game. And yeah, it was like so the thing is like I was like putting those objects in Houdini, and I was like simulating from those objects like directly the paint, to have like something that can like go on the floor and like attach to different parts of the different like objects. So yeah, for example, you can see that here that it attaches to the chairs, and it goes to the chandelier, and goes on top of it, and like all of this there's like a tension, a viscosity that is like creating here. And yeah, this was like fully simulation. I was using just a base of procedural modeling to be able to have the like this effect of like like straight strings like from an object to another. And after I was using like some Veloom, and with Veloom I was like just simulating this. And
Yeah,
it
so
was, like,
you used
cool.
vellum. There wasn't any like flip fluids and stuff like that involved.
No, it was Veloom. Yeah, it was fully Veloom.
Awesome. Awesome.
I think Veloom grains.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, fully Veloom. And so I also did some like some like this with like nothing that the team can use like a bit everywhere in the game. So this was not like something. So like for, I will say like half of the tools I was like working using like Houdini engine, and for half of the other Houdini tool it was like it was just only in Houdini.
Yeah. So
Because like
just
for
creating an
some,
asset and exporting
yeah,
it out. Yeah. Makes sense.
exactly. It was just a way for me to create like those assets like quicker, and like to like having to like create them like with ZBrush or something like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. How did you get it to clump like that? Because the way it's clumping, it's kind of
Yeah.
clumping at the bottom instead of like clumping at the top. So, how did you get it to form this shape?
I think it's, so it was a mixed of technique. It was so I was like either working so the base of the tool is just like straight lines,
Mhm.
and I was using a sweep to make it to like make them like thicker in some
Mhm.
parts, and to be able to generate the grains.
Mhm.
And after, it's also like the simulation itself that is doing the job. So
Yeah.
like it was a mix between like the sweep, like I was creating the profile of the like line,
Mhm.
and I was like choosing where I wanted some thicker parts, and where I wanted something thinner.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you do sort of a like a flat initial surface and then let just gravity bring it, or did you get it kind of close to where you wanted it to be in the end?
Yeah, it was more like kind of close. Like for example, here it was like I attached like spheres here, 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 and after like the straight lines, it was like joining each spheres, and after it was like only the simulation. I think yeah, I also added an option when I was not happy with the simulation. I was like forcing a bit the simulation,
Mhm.
which means like I was like. What I want to say with this is that instead of sometimes straight lines to start the simulation, I was already giving a bit of a curve to have like something that is like going like more close to the floor than something that will stay like this when
Mhm.
when I wanted something that was like the simulation was not able to give me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, very
Thank you.
nice. And do we have anything else to discuss when it comes to this effect? Or
Uh, to this one, no. I think, yeah, I think I can just like tell you about like other stuff that I did for the
Mhm.
level.
Yeah.
That yeah, I like to do. It was like so as the world is like a very much a fantasy world. There's like weird parts that like you don't like, it does not exist in the world, but like you're approaching it and you're like, okay, that's cool. Like for example, Go Blue,
Mhm.
and like it's like very unique level that Nicolas imagined, and I was like, okay, we need some like weird stuff that can match with this, and so I developed some small Houdini tools for some levels that I just like to do. Like for example, this one is like an opening choral.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw it, because this one
Yeah.
you saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is on like the side part.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, for example, this is like so I generate a choral with the L system.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Yeah.
generated it.
Now that it's opening up, I'm seeing the L system. Like
Yes.
it didn't initially. I didn't, but now that you mentioned it, yeah.
So yeah, it's it's a health system, and I was like just playing with the parameters of the health system, and like so it's something that like I don't know, it was like fun to create and not to like it did not needed a lot of like brain cells to do it, because like it was just like playing with parameters and like animating the parameters in the after creating the chorale itself using the L system.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just I export this using vertex animation texture, which is like a technique that so you have a mesh, and you have like textures that will guide the vertex in to be able to animate them in Unreal Engine. And so this is something that is like very optimized, in very optimized way to export stuff. So
And you
and to
set that
animate
up
stuff.
in on the Houdini side, or do you have to set it up in Unreal?
The setup export of vertex animation texture is fully on Houdini side. I think it's on the labs node. Labs
Oh
node. So
yeah.
you have like
I think I've seen it, but I
pre-made.
don't think I ever used it before actually. After this call, I'm gonna go check it out.
It's so cool. It's there's like 3 different modes, and this one is the soft mode, which is like a mode where the the vertex are moving, but you do not change the number of or vertices.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, there's like another like mod to break stuff, and then mod to be able to change the number of vertices, but this one is like a lot more heavier, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of this. But like for some very specific effect, I think it can be very cool, but it's a bad idea to base your game on the fluid vertex animation one.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Especially if you want your game to be on a CD. Because after you have like huge textures.
Yeah, of course. Cool.
And so yeah, that's it. I think for this part.
Awesome. And do we want to talk about the shaders and stuff like that?
The shaders is like a more Unreal Engine part, so like
Mhm.
I can talk about it, but it's like up to you. I don't know if it's
Oh, I mean, it's
interesting. I
interesting.
don't.
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay. So yeah, the shaders we build like so we were having like 2 no, even 3. There's 3 master materials and 2 for the environment. There's like so those master materials they are driving all the different materials in the game, except from specific one like this one that I can detail after. But one of the cool thing was to be able to have like those master materials and apply them everywhere. And after you set some like material function to them,
Mhm.
and you can like create basically like variations everywhere in the game for what you want. So like the environment team was just like creating a new level, and you can like pick one of the material functions that you have in the game, and you can like change the color of the mouse that will be on top or
Ah.
something like this, and you have a different level. You have different assets, if I can say this,
Mhm.
without having really to create new assets. It's like
Mhm.
a way to change the actors in a way that is like not time consuming and having some like different cool stuff. So for example, this is like a yellow mouse that you can find on over levels. So this mouse is like a world position. So based on world position, there's like
Oh,
a
okay.
projection from the top, and this projection from the top it's helping to create variation, because like if you have one of the trunk like this that is like at some in the world, and you have another one at another part of the level, they will not have the same mouse on the actor. So it's like it's interesting to create variation easily to have this kind of things.
That's really cool.
And so yeah, created like a lot of different material functions to be able to populate the game everywhere, like sap effect, like here it was like a fade from the bottom to be able to have a spoiler warning. This like blood coming.
Such a
like,
good boss fight, by the way. That was it just brought me into like Souls games, and I was just like, that's a Souls-like boss design. The second phase is just like, yeah. Let's get back to technical stuff. Yeah.
And yeah, for example, the blood here coming from all those bodies. Here, one of the things that I also one of the reasons I also created those material functions is also in order to have like some optimized stuff, because like sometimes you want to not cast the shadows on the I thought that I had another screenshot. You want to not cast the shadows, but fake shadow on the bottom of this grass. And so like when we are not casting some, we just activate this material function, because like when you have a very dense foliage in some parts, you are like removing those shadows. And so it costs a lot less, especially using the VSM in Unreal Engine, which is like a system, like a shadow system that is specific to Unreal Engine. It's like insanely beautiful, but it also costs a lot. So sometimes you are like removing some shadow, hoping that the player will not see it, and like replacing with like some fake shadows on the bottom of the grass.
I'm a 3D artist. I didn't notice it, so great.
Nice.
This is fascinating. So essentially, like your main characters have their like real shadow, but the foliage, stuff like that, it's all being projected. How do you create that projection? So is it actually taking the object that's on it? So in this case, we have like grass, right? So the projected shadow would be kind of like grassy looking, or is it just like a unified shadow?
No, it's like a unified shadow that will just be on the actor. It's like it's not going like it's not projecting on over like actors, and it's based on the distance fields. So the distance fields is something like it's a voxel technique. It's a voxel like part of the engine that is like representing your actors, but like in an overview, and you can use those informations either in Lumen. You can have like your reflections are like using this your reflections are using this part of the engine, so the distance fields. And it also like can be used in the shaders itself. You can grab the informations and use them. And so like here, like the grass is not casting distance field, but it's receiving distance field from the floor. And so you can use the one from the floor to be able to create this fade like on the bottom of the grass.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Awesome.
And yeah, after like just like few shaders like this is not part of the master shader. It's just like a paint trail to be able to like guide a player like during the first level and create a cool like painting, floating painting effect. Also worked on volumetric part. So for the volumetric, I created like apart, and we also used a very cool plugin that someone made. Yeah, working with volumetric was also like very important part of the game. We tried, like a friend like tried to remove the fog to take screenshots for like his ArtStation post, and he was like, "Whoa, this is not the same game. This is not the same game at all." So yeah, it was like very cool to work on this, and I think it's like all the volumetrics. It's part of what gives the mood. What's it like? I don't know. It's really something that creates like this ambience, this atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. I'm loving it.
Thank you. So yeah, it's like a volumetric effect. And yeah, I think
Awesome.
that's it. Oh, this is just yeah, another material function I was telling you about, like on the master shader, just a snow material function with projection. And this one is using
And it's
the
switching the, okay, yeah. Very
yeah,
cool.
it's like, so it's based on the position, like the vertex position.
Yeah.
And I'm also grabbing the normal map information to be able to add some snow in the cavities, as you can see, like the small details here.
And you're setting all of it, of course, with shaders, right? So there's no geometry involved, so it's not gonna get super heavy.
No, not at all. It's only shader. And one of the constraints that we had was that there was no tessellation back when we were on the project. Now it's starting to be back in Unreal Engine 5.5. I think it's starting to be like work ready. You can start to using in the industry, but it was not ready to be used, so we were not able to like create polygons and like having like a snow effect like with like adding some volume to it.
No, but I mean, it's already very realistic.
And yeah, that's it for this post. I don't know if you have any
Honestly,
questions.
I'm just enjoying this because it's super cool to see. And by the way, I will 100% put your ArtStation link
Oh,
in the
it's
description of this video so everyone can take a look. This is awesome. I don't think we had time to cover everything, so everyone should take a look. Yeah. I will
thank you.
definitely also go take a look now in depth because I mean I already saw some of them before the chat, but I really need to now that I know more, I
Okay.
need to take an in-depth look. Yeah,
Feel free to, if you have any questions, feel free to send me any messages.
of course.
And like all the people that will watch the video, you can also, if I have time, I will respond. So like yeah, feel free to ask me question. I will be happy. It's like, I don't know, it's cool to see people like hype about like what you did. So like, so cool. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm afraid we're kind of getting to the end, but as like your last thoughts, your final thoughts before we do you have any general tips for artists that are interested in getting to like use these tools, for example, Houdini or Substance Designer? They want to get into the world of gaming and stuff like that.
I think the most important thing is to be curious. Like it's the most important thing. It's like don't get like stuck to what you already know. Like if you want to like use this kind of software, you just have to like look what's going on everywhere, like having like the most important YouTube channels, like subscribe to them and like watch their video. And like when you are like looking on how to create something, like do your own thing, and also take a look after what the other people are doing, and so maybe the next time you will not do it the same way. And like I know for sure that all the stuff that I did in the game, there's a lot of things that I will not do the same way. Like everything that you will like, every information that you will grab everywhere, and like the stuff that you will create also by yourself, you will have like more and more experience and like more and more knowledges, and you will like improve every time you will create something. You will improve.
Amazing. Great advice. Alexandre, thank you so
Yes.
much for joining.
Thank you.
This
Thank
was
you again
amazing.
for the opportunity. It's so cool.
Awesome.